Hey guys and ghouls, welcome back to the Cozy Ghost. I'm your host October, and today we're back with First Snow. Last episode we found out that he knows. Who is he? It's Wallace, of course. He knows what Allison does not. That beautiful idiot. No, that was the episode before that. The last episode was the one with the new girl, the roommate. And then we got to get closer to Eileen. Pretty sure that's her name? Eileen. Yes. Eileen. Alright, we're still on the drive. The reason for the dreariness in her voice becomes apparent as I follow her gaze and Caprice happily bouncing out of the car and shutting the door as we stroll up. Everyone sure is different.
Hey!
Hey, guys! The impromptu mechanic appears finished as well, righting herself and closing the hood after poking around inside. She absent-mindedly wipes the sweat off her forehead, leaving some grease on her face before realizing her error. Oh, cool, they actually did do that in the art. That's fun. Whoops, well, it's fixed for now. Looks like the fuse went, nothing major. I've done what I can out here, but it needs a proper fix back at the shop. This'll get you going, though. Eileen's impressed look is shared by me. Being so handy is a good trait to have, and she did come all the way here just to help us. I'm impressed. Fixed cars before? Sorry, it's kind of loud in my ears. I was about to recommend taking it to my dad's auto shop, actually.
Sure.
Your dad's shop's as good as any other. I'll sort something out this afternoon. This is where I'd shake your hand and thanks, but, you know. Millie gives a self-deprecating smile in response. Caprice passes her a handkerchief from her pocket, which Millie quickly uses to wipe her hands as best as she can. Hey, since you're already here, I'll let you all get on with your art club adventure. I have other things I need to do. Sorry.
Have fun.
Ooh, she knew how to shut down Caprice quick. Caprice was kind of sad. With that, we give our farewells to Millie as she heads back towards her car. Her momentary churlish grin towards the deflated Caprice doesn't go unnoticed. A rivalry in the making. You can't even see that. What? A rivalry in the... Oh, it disappeared. A little thing came up. A rivalry in the making. Steam achievement. Oh, fuck, I didn't get to read that. Shit. Okay. Now, are we finally going to the aquarium?
Yeah!
Fun. She beams brightly, her smile proving infectious. Turning to me, Eileen's emerald eyes stare into my own, checking my reaction after the day's events. As rough as she might be, Eileen does really care about others.
Eileen.
Let's go, Eileen. With this, she gives one of those few smiles she dares give. It feels like a reward to see them, and I find myself wanting to see them more and more. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. You're gay! You're gay. She's gay. I briefly wonder who's in the art room as I proceed along the second floor hallway. Well, less wonder and more hope. She has a crush on Eileen. Like, it is so obvious. So obvious. Caprice will be there, I have little doubt of that, but I'm starting to enjoy being around Eileen. Her paintings are so nice to see, and any time I manage to make her warm up to me feels like somehow rewarding. Someone like Caprice smiles all the time, and the moment we sat beside each other in biology lecture, my fate was sealed as she began chatting to me without prompting. While I don't mind that at all, I find her bubbly attitude uplifting, if a little overbearing. There's little about her that she keeps to herself. When Eileen gives praise or even just smiles, it feels genuinely earned. I think that's the difference. Or, you have a crush on her. Just saying. Upon reaching the door and opening it, the otherwise empty room is filled with the greetings of a certain loud girl. Sitting at a table with a sketchbook in front of her, she takes a brief break from her work. Sorry, just tuck in my hair. Struggle. Okay.
Hi!
Good afternoon, Allison!
Hey.
Hey, you look cheerful as usual. I'm super ready for today's art club meeting. She pumps her fist as I walk in, earning a sincere, if weary, smile. I feel a little bad for my first reaction upon entering being disappointment, given her earnest sense of friendship with me. It's nothing like personal, babes. She's just gay. Shrugging it off, I pile my books onto another table and take a couple of pencils from the side table, which Caprice has commandeered. My bad. A glance at the sketchbook Caprice has been sketching in makes me stop in my tracks. I have to look up at her and back down again just to confirm that this was done by the same person. Her casual doodles were cute, but she has a real talent for this stuff now that I see her more serious work. I never really questioned how much Caprice has practiced her art now that I think of it. I'm left a little chastened for underestimating how much effort she puts into this hobby. Motivated to try a bit harder, I take a seat and open one of my notebooks. Flipping to a mostly empty page, I ponder for a moment before setting about sketching a cat. They were always a favorite subject to doodle. I lose track of time as I start to get into it, trying to replicate Caprice's shading from memory. It's only when Caprice pipes up with another greeting that I take a break. Eileen strides through the doorway as I look up, giving a quick, perfunctory wave to the both of us. She looks barely awake, but given how tired she always looks, it's hard to say if it's any worse than usual. As we exchange greetings and Caprice gets back to her sketching, Eileen's eyes fall on my notebook. Without breaking stride, she turns on the ball of her high boots to take a detour from her easel and peer at my work. Eileen's figure looms above as she stands in front of me, fingers pressed to the top of my sketchbook as she looks down. It conjures up feelings I haven't felt since middle school, as if a student shrinking before her teacher. Haven't done this in a while, have you?
Sorry.
Sorry. Why are you apologizing? If you haven't, you haven't. You have the fundamentals right, at least, which only comes with practice. Her fingertip skates back and forth on the paper, pointing out this and that. Musculature looks off, but that's a pain at the best of time for animals. Try to draw from references instead of relying on what your mind thinks something looks like. A weight feels like it's been lifted from my shoulders. It's not exactly high praise, but the fact she's willing to give me pointers feels like validation. You like cats? I have one back home. Explains it. More of a dog person myself, really. Ever had one? Would have been nice, but my parents weren't interested in the idea. Sounds like you and your parents don't get along very well.
No.
We don't. Uh-oh. The pet thing's nothing to do with it. They wanted me to go into one of their... They wanted me to go into one of their approved careers, and I didn't. Oh, I thought it would be something more complicated. Sometimes things really are as simple as they seem. I'm sure things will work out eventually. That's nice. I open my mouth to respond, but the tone behind her words makes it clear that she considers this discussion over. The air goes cold between us, leaving me at a loss for words as my shoulders slump in defeat. All I meant to do was cheer her up. Optimism isn't always the best. Sometimes you need to accept, hey, sometimes things suck. I'm gonna make myself smaller so that we can at least see everything else. Whoop. Okay. As she steps over to another table and pulls off her coat, Caprice gleefully fills the room. Hey, have you tried doing other stuff as well? What do you mean? You know, other kinds of art. There's oils, watercolor, pottery, fletching. I both paint and do sketchwork, so it's not like you need to keep one thing or another. I can get some pottery stuff if you want. Eileen barely restrains herself from rolling her eyes. By harassing the poor professor into giving you some kiln time in clay.
Oh.
It's not harassment, it's negotiating. That is going to be my catchphrase from now on. I think I'll be fine for now. Eileen gives one final piece of advice as she turns towards the cupboard, taking the full advantage of the lull from Caprice focusing her on work. Don't worry about her. Just keep at it. Practice might not make perfect, but it'll get you close. I'm sure Eileen means well with her efforts at teaching, but it's a vast change to the way I used to draw as a kid and in high school, being little more than the occasional scribble when an idea struck. Barely having time to put pencil to paper, a clatter at the front of the room draws the attention of both Caprice and I. As Eileen fiddles, both of us get up to see what's happening.
What's up?
Standing at the old wooden cabinet at the front of the room, Eileen gives a couple more sharp tugs at the door, with all her usual gentleness, before turning to Caprice. The door to the cabinet's locked. Nah, they never lock it after the class. She bounces over to Eileen and takes the handle in her grip, giving it several pulls at various creative angles in case it's jammed. After one last try, hard enough to have her feet slipping on the floor... Okay, that's a pet peeve of mine. When I tell someone something and they're like, no, and they do it themselves and I'm right, and I'm like, did you think I was just lying to you? Like, what? That's such a specific pet peeve, but yeah. Could you say that again? I didn't quite catch what you said. As they face off, I take a look at the cabinet between them. It's a type of lock I've tried before, and not particularly high-end. Then again, I've never done this with two people peering over my shoulder. As they both look to me, I realize there isn't any backing down now. Glancing out the door to make sure there isn't anyone listening, I continue on. I could maybe try picking it?
What?
You can do that?!
Seriously.
Someone sure has a knack for skills that upstanding people shouldn't have. All I can do in response is wilt. Eileen's not exactly wrong, even if I do like to think I only use such things when I should. We don't really have much of an option. Think you can do it? Accepting my fate, I get up and hold my hand towards them. I'll need a couple of paper clips. Taking to my feet once more, Eileen and Caprice look more dubious than impressed. Well, did you get it? A little more confident than Caprice, her face having been plastered right beside the lock out of curiosity as I worked, I take a long breath and reach out to the handle, giving it a timid tug. The relief in the room is palpable as the old door creaks open, revealing shelf upon shelf of supplies. Awesome! Caprice gives a tight hug from behind in appreciation and excitement, leaving me to awkwardly laugh off the praise as Eileen starts taking her paints and brushes. As she rights herself and Caprice detaches herself from me, Eileen gives a couple of claps on the shoulder with her free hand. You did good. Where, or maybe, I should say why, did you pick up skills like that? I just like learning things. Taking an interest in the conversation, Caprice leans back towards us. What kind of things? Other cool stuff like that? Just things. Schoolwork wasn't too hard, so instead of studying, I ended up teaching myself stuff like how to pick locks and tinker with different machines to keep myself occupied. Are you aware of how sketchy that sounds?
Oh!
It's not about doing bad things, they're just puzzles. The point is working them out, not getting free stuff. When I put it that way, I guess it is pretty useless to learn. That's pretty funny to be saying right now. Caprice nudges Eileen, who just raises an eyebrow. She makes a decent point. Hoping that no staff were around to notice what just happened, I throw the twisted paper clips into the bin before heading to my table as Caprice takes to hers and Eileen sits herself at her easel. Without further ado, we each set to work. It's a nice atmosphere with the three of us working away at our own little projects. I'm not sure sketching cats in a notebook really counts as much of a project, but having friends around makes it seem somehow more meaningful. Oh, painting's progressing. With winter setting in, I find myself settled in for the evening on the couch, watching a movie on the television, a blanket draped over me to try and keep warm. Rose still isn't back from work, and with the garbage taken out and washing up done, it probably wouldn't hurt to take things easy for the rest of this evening. A loud ping comes from beside me, my hand automatically reaching for my phone sitting on the couch in response. Probably Rose saying she'll be late, doing me to microwave noodles for dinner again. Or perhaps not. I don't recognize the number or user avatar at all. I have a feeling I know who it is, though. I briefly consider saying no, but that would be mean. I can barely make out their picture beyond what I think to be yellow hair. I don't even know any blondes besides Eileen and Millie, and the latter's unlikely to be messaging me. Eileen? Wallace helped me set this thing up. What's with your profile pic? It took a photo when I was setting up. Find any nice apps yet? I haven't tried looking. I don't really get it. I can't help but giggle a little. I'm happy she's making the effort when she made it clear she wasn't interested before. I'll help you with it tomorrow. Cute little emoji. That would be good, thanks. Sorry if I type slowly, this keyboard is weird. Oh yeah, it's like 3 minutes between each message. Practice makes perfect. About that. Wanted to say sorry about the parents thing. I was too touchy. It's okay. Wasn't really my business. Life doesn't always have a happy ending. Things don't work out, and that's that. I don't agree with this. You still have to try, though. People are good. I don't agree with that. You can go no contact. It's fine. You just need to have faith. It's okay to go no contact. At least, that's what I think. I don't get you at all. I think that goes both ways.
Uh-huh.
I see. Damn, girly! Taken completely unawares, I leap off the couch and spin around, barely keeping a hold of the phone in my hand. When did you get in? Just now. Sorry I couldn't help myself. I let out a long breath to steady myself as my heart slowly returns to its normal pace. Rose just grins churlishly as she walks off to hang up her coat. Roommate's back. Catch you tomorrow. See you. With that, I tap the side button to lock the phone once more, putting it on the counter beside me. You look happy. She's so pretty. I love her tattoo. All I can do is grimace, my face becoming flushed from embarrassment at her bullying. Girl, that's not what bullying is. Thanks to my cheeks mildly hurting, I can tell she isn't wrong. I mean it. It does me good to see you managing to get yourself a social circle and all. You were worried? Can you blame me? No guys around, no friends, always being so nervous. You've changed a lot. I guess Eileen was right. Everyone really is there for me. Rose isn't wrong either. I do have friends now, and the art club's starting to become a welcome little slice of familiarity in the campus. Caprice, Wallace, Eileen, everyone's really nice to me. Yet, it's Eileen I can't stop thinking about. Behind that cold exterior of hers, there's a genuinely kind person. What's with that face? Nothing. Gonna come eat or play with your phone all day? That's cute. Oh. With the sun beginning to set, Eileen and I say our goodbyes to Caprice before heading out into the hallway. Calming Caprice down after she gets a bright idea feels like trying to stifle a shaken soda can after opening it. She might still be brimming with energy, but the two of us leave the art club's room utterly deflated. We should have just joined the normal art club. You know, the one which isn't led by a maniac. I wish I could get the two of them to see eye to eye more often. Caprice did say she's doing all of this for Eileen's sake as much as her own, and she's far too straightforward to be lying about that. It's difficult to push back on Eileen, though, given how prideful a person she is. I seem to attract strong-willed friends. She is... a lot. She means well, though. Well, maybe it's not so bad if you're around to keep her occupied. If you're around to keep her occupied. For what it's worth, I was actually thinking this might be a fun little adventure. I wanted to thank you for making all of this work out. She makes an exquisitely awkward face, caught between my thanking her and the idea of having to share her room with us. And anyone else Caprice manages to rope in from now on. I just smile as we start down the quiet hallway, Eileen taking a look out the window. Her gaze lingers for just that little longer than usual, snow once again having started falling outside. I can't blame her, given how pretty it looks. Damn, it's gonna be shoveling snow again. What a pain. She really isn't the sentimental type.
Huh?
Did I say something wrong? I was just thinking. You don't seem to have a very romantic view of the world, being an artist. Is there much good about winter? Winter's actually my second favorite season. I was gonna say something. Oh, not all artists like romanticize the world. A lot of them actually do the opposite. But yeah, Eileen doesn't seem to be doing either. Being back with family, all the pretty snow around, people in cute jackets and coats, holidays. I end up trailing off. Eileen hardly looks swayed as I count my favorite things about the season on my fingers. Holidays are the problem. Everyone's starting to close up or shut down for the new year already. I want to keep practicing instead of loafing around, but the life drawing classes are over and all the student modeling offers have dried up. I have seen notices for those on the notice boards around campus, with students and others making a little cash on the side by modeling for artists. What if... Hear me out. What if Allison models for Eileen? You know, platonically, of course. Definitely platonically. Those same notice boards have become much more bare over the last month. I feel sorry for her, given she's taken her painting so seriously. I was so caught up in wanting to be back with my family that I didn't think how it'd be for her, especially when she doesn't get along with hers. As we walk along the hallway, I realize this might present an opportunity, a chance for me to help Eileen and be part of her painting, instead of simply watching her from afar. I'm not completely sure about this, but my obvious scheming has already caught Eileen's eye. If it'd be helpful, I mean, maybe I could do it? At this, Eileen stops and turns to me. Should I not have suggested this? You just need me to stand around and be a model, right? There's not a lot to it. This would be live modeling, you know? I don't want you to give the wrong idea. The reminder does make me hesitate. I know there's nothing sexual about it, but I'd be standing without clothes on as she alone looked at me, analyzing my whole body. Eileen herself doesn't look fussed, though she rarely does. She seems content to let me come to a conclusion myself as she stands about. But my body language soon gives away what I'm thinking. Sorry if I made you uncomfortable. I can just work on other studies instead. No, I mean, she did mention herself that she's done this before. It'd simply be another method of practicing painting for her. For her? Girl, she likes you back. Just accept it. Would it be in your apartment or something?
Yeah.
The way she said that. She looks mildly surprised I'm still considering this. If it was anyone else, I don't think I could do this. For Eileen, though...
Okay.
It's fine. I'll do it. Oh, that's cute. Oh, damn. Damn! We set down our coats as we enter her apartment, the bright light giving such a different look to her living room compared to mine. As for Eileen herself, I don't get how she isn't exhausted at all after a walk like that from school. But, try as I might to distract myself, something feels off no matter how I try to ignore it. Painting live models is probably totally normal for an artist like Eileen, so I don't bother saying anything as she sets down her coat. Want a drink or something? I'm fine, thanks.
Sure.
Suit yourself. I'll grab my stuff. Just make yourself comfortable. She walks off to get her easel and paints as I nod. It's cute. Without much else to do, she disappears into another room. I idly look around while taking off my coat and gloves. Her apartment hasn't been cleaned up this time, which is an interesting change. Beyond the easel with the finished painting still sitting on it, a few colorful fashion magazines lie on the coffee table, near a mug left sitting around. On the couch, a couple of crumpled up t-shirts and a pair of old jeans lie strewn over the back and arm. What catches my eye most, however, is the resident who looks very comfortable on the other end of it. Without thinking, I walk over and pick him up. Our particularly large stuffed rabbit, big enough to need two hands to hold comfortably. Though well-made and adorably designed, it's obviously a little well-loved by now. I'm sure I'd have noticed such a thing if it were around when Wallace and I came for dinner, so it must have been stuffed into her bedroom or something. Noticing movement out of the corner of my eye, I turn and look up. Eileen simply stares at me, face flat as she holds a bag of supplies in her hand. I really shouldn't have just gone and started fiddling with her stuff. Sorry. It's really cute. She puts her bag down and sighs, giving me a bit of relief that she isn't angry. Silently, she strides over and takes the toy from me as I offer it to her. My sister gave it to me to keep me company when I moved out. I'm disappointed by how little emotions in Eileen's voice when she says so, but those thoughts quickly disappear as she gently sets down the rabbit where it had been. She takes care to set it down gently, with a quick brush of its fur. She misses her sister. That momentary smile as she steps back and looks at it warms my heart. It only lasts for a second, but her face is unmistakably that of a child, one taking care of their favorite companion. So Eileen does have a cute side to her. This is so gay. I somehow feel a bit less wound up about everything now. She's not that different to me in the end. As she turns away, I remember the task at hand. I think that I'm going to end this episode here, right before the juicy bit starts up. So, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button in the face. That's not mine. Just hit the like button, maybe subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll always know when the next video is. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye!